So Parker, to start with you, first and foremost, a quick injury update. How are you tracking? What's the sort of situation with the foot?
Foot's tracking really well, thankfully up for selection this week, so hoping to play this Friday. Just had a little bit of a sesamoid, annoyed a little bit, but completely fine.
This will take us through when it sort of happened and that's a reaction given your history with foot injuries in the past 12 to 18 months.
So I found out in the, who were we playing?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. In that game, in about the 60th minute, I was just in a ruck coming over against the Rebels, and I just, felt my toe twinge, and I went to get off my toe and I couldn't. Initially, I did freak out a little bit because obviously, given the last 12 months, it was quite scary. But yeah, it was just a very minor injury. The physios reassured me, and it's just been nearly precautionary the last 2 weeks to make sure I did come back ready and 100% ready to go.
I guess it's that roller coaster of emotions. Did the physio do the test straight away? Was it something like, how long were you thinking, oh my goodness, this could be season over again?
Probably only really for just after, during the game, to be honest. I was more controlling my emotions when I got on the bench. That's probably when I was probably the most heightened from the game, and then also the reality of this could be the fear of it, I suppose. But then after the game, the physio looked at it pretty much straight away. I went straight into x-rays and MRI that night. So I pretty much knew straight away there was nothing major structurally wrong, which helped the nerves a lot. And then it was just seeing how to manage that in the next few weeks.
And then coming back for a semi-final, we saw it happen last year with the Fiji game. How many, I guess for the both of you, how many times you sort of watched that game over and looked up what could have been? Because I think you scored like the first 45 seconds, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, very, very lucky too, just the opportunity arose. But it was very disappointing last year, especially coming off the back of such a great round. So looking back, and definitely watched the game a few times and kind of like fueled the fire, I guess, for this year. And like, we don't want to get walked over again like we did last year. So just coming in with a bit more intensity, a bit more motivation to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, definitely. And Desiree, from your perspective, coming into this year, minor premiership undefeated, how is this team different to the one that sort of laced up the boots 12 months ago for the semi-final?
Yeah, so some minor changes here and there, but I just think whoever joins the squad just joins with such continuity, and the girls are so welcoming, and the girls that have been welcomed are so open and open-minded and have really assimilated into the team quite nicely, and we've got a nice dynamic going. So I just feel like whoever joins, it's always positive, and it always has a positive impact on how we play.
I guess you sort of talk about dynamic, but particularly that dynamic in the back three has been really effective this year. I guess how much license does Mike give you to sort of roam off the wing, just sort of play sort of almost that eyes up footy, and how's that combination with Maya and Caitlin really developed since sort of, I guess, last year heading into this year?
Rivo always encourages it. The more we get off our wing, the more time we have on the ball and involved in play, there seems to be an impact, what he's been telling us. So he does encourage it, and Maya and I seem to find each other a lot on the field, and Caitlin's always working wing to wing, so she's really helped develop that connection with the back three. And I think Maya and I have been playing together for a while. I've known Caitlin for a couple of years now, so I think just that time and time spent together training, playing has really helped with the continuity.
Can you just take us through your journey to sort of rugby? Was it through lockdown that you picked up the rugby ball and then just picked it up from there?
Yeah, so lockdown, I was playing soccer at the time and then got sick of it, and then my brother went to kick the footy at the park, so I went to join him, started goal kicking, and then I was like, oh, well, I'll try footy. I've always wanted to,
Give it a crack.
Might as well. So tried down at East, and then next thing I know, I was playing here.
It's a remarkable journey to be, 2 or 3 years into playing footy, already played for your country, about to line up in the second semi-final. Is there sort of still aspects of the game where you're still trying to learn, or has it just come that naturally to you?
Oh, definitely. There is still a lot I have to learn, and that's why I love it so much, because there's never a dull moment, and then there's never a day where you know exactly what's going to happen. It's so unpredictable, and always unpredictable, like the semi-final last year, and learning more my position and even other positions just to get a holistic understanding of how to play the game. I definitely think playing other sports growing up has helped translate skills over. I'm just really loving still learning the game and learning from some really wise, experienced players, and it's been really great.
apart from your perspective, having people like Desiree come in, even like 16, 17-year-olds who are just picking up the game, what does that energy and that sort of multi-skill or multi-sport, multi-skill facet really add different dynamics to this Waratahs side?
Yeah, I think it really does. We've had some really talented girls in the last 2 years come through. Desiree, a perfect example, but those young girls coming through as well. I've said it before, just girls are playing rugby so much younger now. And a lot of people like myself and Des, we did come from other sports, which I do think correlates really well, especially with a lot of women coming into rugby. But now these girls are playing rugby so much younger. So the talent of the athlete coming through is just so much more developed at a younger age. And I think we're starting to see that a lot. And I think that's really exciting, especially heading into the future and heading into what they're calling the golden decade of rugby and what that's going to bring for us as a nation, let alone a state.
Definitely. And just focusing on this semi-final, obviously the Brumbies have shown their power through their forward pack. As sort of one of the leaders of this forwards sort of unit, is this a sort of type of game where you really sort of try and get up for and really know that it's going to be a physical battle?
Yeah, it's always going to be a physical battle. Brumbies really always bring intensity and great physicality. Our theme for this week is trust. So it's trusting one another, trusting the process, and also trusting that we have the skill set and we've put in the work this season to really put on a dominant performance, both physically but executionally as well. So, and I think that also sums up the culture of this group, that level of trust we can put through each other. And I'm really excited to see what this weekend brings with our forwards setting the platform and having such quality finishes, as we've touched on, to be able to execute those roles for us is, really beneficial.
I know, it was only sort of a month or so earlier you're playing the Brumbies, but the semi-final with a brand new slate. How much can you realistically take from that game in terms of tactics-wise and just confidence knowing that you've done it before against this group and it's a very sort of settled side since?
I think everyone develops through the season. I think that's just normal, but I think we will obviously take a lot from what we got from playing them, but it's also analysing them throughout the season too and how they've developed and how they've progressed. But it's also reflecting internally as well and trusting how we've progressed in that time period too. So I think it's going to be really two different sides playing each other, which I think for the spectators and for the game is really cool, really exciting, and I think it's going to be a really electric game this Friday.
Jesse, from your perspective, you've seen the sort of the explosiveness that backline has. You have Tyler, 10, Ash Bishop at 15, a lot of sort of creativity there. How do you go about sort of shutting them down whilst trying to open up the space for yourself and Mayo to really just go attack?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel that Tulla and Bishop have definitely stepped up this year, and you've seen the progression in their game from last year to this year. So definitely people to watch out for. And like Piper said, as we develop, they develop too, and it's something we've got to keep watching over those round games and something we've ID'd. And I think just applying early pressure and getting up and being in their face basically help put pressure on them and hopefully make some mistakes and open up opportunities for us.
Final one for me, just for both you first part of it. That idea of playing at Allianz, you played there a couple of times this year, but this as a standalone game, like what does this mean to have a semi-final at Allianz and really have all the support behind you?
I think it's special to be, I suppose, I don't want to say recognition, but that level of support from rugby and the organisation and the value it adds on the game, having that standalone game at Allianz. I'm absolutely ecstatic to play in that game and having a home semi-final in itself and then getting the opportunity to play at a stadium like that. I know I'm absolutely stoked.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a cracking game, yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think even last year we played one game there and I love Allianz. I think it's such a great stadium, such a great atmosphere, and to even play 3 of our home games in the round
this year
segment of the competition was also really exciting, and we're super grateful, and all the support from the organisation, Waratahs, and now to be recognised and put in Allianz as a standalone game for a semi-final is huge, and I think it just fuels the fire and it gets us really pumped up for the game ahead.